Hello listeners and welcome to the fifth and the last program in our series, Let's Learn Mathematics. These programs are produced for grade 8 learners and anybody else who has an interest in the subject. My name is Esme Roux. This will be the fifth lesson on algebra and today we will look at manipulation of algebraic expressions. It is very important that you have a notebook and pen with you so that you can make notes of the examples I give you. If you don't have a notebook and pen yet, quickly run and get it. This program is the fifth of a series of 5 lessons based on algebra and specifically algebraic manipulation. By the end of this program, you should be able to identify like and unlike terms, add and subtract algebraic expressions. Let's get ready to hear what Susan, Nicole and their tutor will discuss today.
Hi Susan, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. What did you think of math class today, Nicole?
You mean the one about like terms? Very confusing.
I thought so too. Let's go ask Miss Roux to help us.
Let's go.
Good afternoon, girls. Please come in.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please sit down. How is it going with the maths?
Not too bad, but we'd like to ask you a few questions though.
Sure. But before we discuss your questions, let's just give the answers to the questions I gave you last time.
Okay, that's fine, ma'am. Can I answer the first one?
Yes, Susan. The question was to write the length of a rectangle in terms of x.
The breadth is half its length. So the breadth is x and the length should be 2x.
That's right. Nicole, can you answer the second part of the question, please? Find the perimeter of a rectangle in terms of x.
The perimeter is equals to 2 times x plus 2 times 2x.
Yes, very good. Now, how can I help you today?
Ma'am, we got confused about like terms and unlike terms. Could you please explain to us what the difference between the two is?
Like terms are identical variables. That is, when the terms have exactly the same variable and index.
Eish, that sounds even more complicated. Can you give us an example, please, ma'am?
Alright, write down the two terms 3xy and negative 4xy. Do you think they are like terms?
The variables are the same, but the one term has a 3 in front and the other term has a negative 4. Are they still like terms, even though the numbers in front are different?
Yes, Susan, they are still like terms. The number in front or the coefficient can have any value as long as your variables are exactly the same.
I see. What about 2a and 3ab? Are they like terms?
What do you think? Do they have exactly the same variables?
Well, both have an a in them.
But can you say that they are exactly the same?
No, ma'am, they are not. The one variable is a and the other one is ab.
Oh, now I get it. If 2a is orange and 3ab is red, the two have different colors, so they cannot be like terms.
That's a very good point, Susan. Also, remember that I said they must also have the same index or power. What about the following two terms? Please write them down. 6x to the power of 2, y, and 5x, y to the power of 2.
Okay, let's see. It is 6x to the power of 2, y, and 5x, y to the power of 2. Both terms have xy, but their powers are different, so I would say no, they are not like terms.
Good thinking, Nicole. They are not like terms.
I think I understand it better now. The next question we have is when we have to add and subtract algebraic expressions.
Can you give me an example, please?
Alright, 2a plus 4a minus 3a. It looks very complicated.
2a plus 4a minus 3a. You have to try and think practical. Say, for example, you have 2 apples. Your mom gives you 4 more apples. and then you give 3 apples to your brother. How many apples do you have left?
Wait a minute. I have 2 apples and my mom gives me 4 more apples. Then I have 6 apples. I give 3 apples to my brother, then I'll have 3 apples left. That's easy.
Exactly. When you have like terms, replace the like term with something you can see or feel, like I did with apples, and make it practical. Then you will see it is very easy.
So what happened was that the variable stays the same the whole time, and I just add the coefficients?
Yes, Susan, that is right. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6, and 6 minus 3 is equal to 3.
Oh wow, I like this. Let's do another one.
Okay, please write down the following. Simplify negative 4xy plus 2xy minus 8xy.
It is negative 4xy plus 2xy minus 8xy.
Before you start, first look at them closely to see whether they are all like terms.
Okay, let me see. It looks to me like they are all like terms because every term has xy.
That is very important because in algebra you are not allowed to add or subtract unlike terms.
Okay, so you said we must just add the coefficients. That means we have negative 4 plus 2 minus 8, and I get negative 10. So the answer is negative 10xy.
Great, that's perfect. Now girls, let me see how clever you are. Simplify the following. Please write down negative 3a plus 2b minus 4a plus 8b.
Negative 3a plus 2b minus 4a plus 8b. So, you said we must look for like terms. There are 2 terms with a and 2 terms with b.
Good, Nicole. Because you are doing it for the first time, I want you to take 2 different colors and underline the like terms with the same color.
I've got red and blue. I'll make the terms with A red and the terms with B blue.
For the a terms, the coefficients are negative 3 minus 4. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. So the a term is negative 7.
Right. Susan, what do you get for B?
The B term has a 2 plus 8, which is 10.
If we put them together, we will have negative 7a plus 10b.
Wow, this is cool. Thank you, ma'am. I really learned a lot today.
Me too. Thanks, ma'am. I'm sure I'll do well in this topic.
That's my pleasure, girls. Thank you for coming. Dear listeners, here is a quick recap of the lesson. Today we learned how to identify like terms and how to add and subtract like terms. Like terms are terms that have exactly the same variables and powers. In the first example, we looked at 3xy and negative 4xy. Even though the number in front is different, as long as the variables are exactly the same, they are like terms. In the example 2a and 3ab, those terms are not like terms. You will see that both terms have an a in them, but because the second term has ab, they are not like terms. In the next example, we had 6x to the power 2 y and 5x y to the power 2. These terms are not like terms because their powers are not exactly the same. This brings us to simplifying like terms. Before you add or subtract anything, just make sure whether there are like terms. In the example 2a plus 4a minus 3a, all 3 terms are like terms. Therefore, we just add the coefficients of each term. 2 plus 4 minus 3 is equal to 3. So, the answer is 3a. Next, we had negative 4xy plus 2xy minus 8xy. First, ask the question whether they are like terms or not. Yes, they are like terms. So, we just add the coefficients of each. Negative 4 plus 2 minus 8 is equal to negative 10. So, the answer is negative 10xy. In the next example, we had negative 3a plus 2b minus 4a plus 8b. In this example, you must identify the like terms before you add or subtract. If you have color pencils, it is advisable to underline the like terms with the same color. Negative 3a minus 4a are like terms. If we add them, we get negative 7a. 2b and 8b are like terms. So, if we add them, we get 10b. That means the complete answer is negative 7a plus 10b. Remember, we just add the coefficients of the like terms. This brings us to the end of our series of 5 lessons on algebra. There won't be a question today. I hope you have learned a lot from these lessons and that you will do really well with this topic. This program was written by Esme Roo.
This program was brought to you by NAMCOL with funding from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture and the Commonwealth of Learning.